Well, all right, let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers defense, what they were able to really not do too well against the Seattle Seahawks for a good chunk of this game, but kind of how they were able to finally really, the big play at the end that kind of turned things, and just what they were able to do in general to eventually kind of slow down Smith and DK Metcalf. It was kind of weird because early on, they seemingly had no issue slowing them down. Obviously, we saw the Seahawks get rolling a bit, but then they were able to slam the door shut later on. So let's talk about it all. Let's start off with this play. It's going to be a man coverage play, and this is kind of, I think the story of the Seahawks, especially the first half for the Seahawks, was this situation. One thing you notice, yes, technically there are double zeros on the play clock, but they got the ball off in time, actually. You get a second after the clock hits 0 before they will throw the flag. I thought they got it off in time, so, just worth noting. But it's man coverage, and it's going to be a cover 1 blitz, so, again, we already kind of felt like going in, probably going to be some pressure on Geno Smith with the great pass rushers combined with kind of some, inexperienced offensive linemen, we'll say. You throw on a 5th pass rusher, meaning nobody gets help, it's all one-on-one matchups, well, yeah, you're going to get some pressure. Geno Smith takes the snap and looks downfield, but you see right here, he doesn't love what he sees. However, I was watching this play, and I was kind of saying, I would have loved to see Smith take a shot right here. Feels like it's the right time to take a shot. You don't want to just, get sacked. I think throwing the ball down the field is probably the move, and he does not. As you see, he ends up getting sacked, and this was the first of back-to-back 3-and-outs they would have to start the football game, which is obviously not ideal. Okay, this mistake happens, but what do you do when you make a mistake, especially in a playoff game? You have to learn from that mistake, and I think Geno Smith did, because the next time we saw this would happen. So here we go, later in the game, for San Francisco is now up 6 points. Again, they nearly did not get the snap off, so got to hurry up with that a little bit. But it's again, cover 1 blitz once again. You have DK Metcalf running a go route. I wonder if they said, hey, if we see something like this, DK, make sure you just go long here. This is the decision that Geno Smith is making. He's throwing the ball to DK Metcalf. He doesn't care how open DK Metcalf gets. However, fortunately, it's DK Metcalf, so watch what happens. Geno Smith takes the snap, and he makes sure he fires it before pressure is going to get there, and you see Metcalf is open. The safety is not going to be able to get over there in time. This is a true one-on-one matchup, but here's kind of where things get interesting. You got to make the throw, right? Which is not an easy throw to make. I mean, hitting someone in stride like that, we see quarterbacks miss these throws all the time, and not just miss in terms of making an incompletion. Sometimes they make it, but it requires a good catch from a receiver, or maybe they're able to make the catch but aren't quite able to get the touchdown after the catch, something like that. But no, this one was right on the money for Metcalf to be able to catch it in stride and get into the end zone for a touchdown, and that gave the Seahawks the lead and really kind of changed the dynamic of the game once that play happened, and let people know, hey, Seattle's not a pushover. Seattle is here to compete. Actually, not this play, a little bit earlier was another key play. It's a Metcalf play once again. It's actually that same concept once again, so I lied a little bit about the next time they saw it, they did that. But, one of the next times they saw it, they did that. And this is, a little bit more creative. You don't know exactly what's happening here for Seattle, but they know to have a one-on-one matchup on the outside with DK Metcalf. That's where they're going to look. Look at how when Smith takes the snap, again, feels like one of those situations where he was throwing to Metcalf right away. He's stepping up in the pocket, so he's actually a little bit off balance, but still, Metcalf has the inside leverage. Throw it to the inside and trust that Metcalf can outmuscle whoever it is against him. I don't care if it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm sure Metcalf would still outmuscle him. As you see, Smith does make a great throw. Metcalf makes a great catch, and they picked up that was their first down of the game. They would go on a drive that would end in them getting the ball into the end zone. So those couple of plays were absolutely huge, and it's really good stuff from Smith. Smith had another couple of good throws and a good 3rd down conversion on those. So, Geno Smith playing like the best Geno Smith we've seen, and DK Metcalf playing like the best DK Metcalf we see. That was a huge reason that Seattle was able to put up such a fight and make it seem, when we went from, oh my God, Seattle is probably going to get crushed, to, oh no, that's not happening. It's because of the strength of their star players playing like stars. Then this play happened, which was really, a dagger, right? Seattle's thinking, hey, if we can convert here, you could be winning. You're a play away from being up by a point if you get the extra point. So I guess technically 2 plays away, but essentially 1 play away from probably taking the lead to this play, which would be a complete disaster. The way the play itself works is I've circled the right guard. It's a little bit kind of hard to tell there, but I've circled the right guard as the way the pass rush setup is that you have 3 San Francisco players who are lined up to the center's left. So they're basically forcing the center to have to block to the left. That's what's going to happen. They're essentially guaranteeing that's going to happen. However, the interior defensive lineman for San Francisco, who is, setting up as though he's going to be right towards the top of the screen of the center, is then going to pull down closer towards the bottom of the screen of the center. Like, watch how he does that. And so basically, a lot of stuff there. The reason why you do all of that stuff is it gets you 2 one-on-one matchups to the top of the screen. You're able to get 2 pass rushers to get one-on-one matchups. That is the situation. But what's interesting is that the whole kind of main part of this play is going to involve someone who had nothing to do with all of that. You do all that craziness to try to set stuff up, but it's going to be a player who I have circled, technically 2 players who I've circled. You have Abraham Lucas, the right tackle, who is currently blocking Charles Omenihu on this play. And so at this point, what's interesting is that Menu, he can't even see where Geno Smith is, and Smith actually notices that and is going to try to run up in that direction. He's thinking maybe I could scramble and, something could happen there. He's, again, a good scrambler. I understand the logic. And there's definitely going to be an element of luck and an element of making your own luck. Omenihu kind of just does a, spins around, swipes and happens to hit the ball. The ball pops out, and then also, Seattle did not quite notice where the ball was, whereas Nick Bosa did. Listen, you could say it's unlucky that Charles Cross, the rookie left tackle, did not notice that the ball was by his feet, but at the same time, it's, is it luck that Nick Bosa did notice it? No, it's good awareness by Bosa. Bosa figured it out. He popped on the ball. So just, a very interesting play that ends up being a devastating play. And again, all set up as well by, good play call early on to get pressure and force Geno Smith to want to step up. Nothing getting open early on to force Geno Smith to still have to hold on to the football. And then guys making plays when the opportunity presents itself. After that point, it really was over. San Francisco then scored a touchdown, and then you got, a drive got stalled largely due to penalties, and then San Francisco scores another touchdown, and that was basically the end of the game. So, good stuff there. But hey, this is the reality of this San Francisco team, is that you don't need your defense to play great every single game. Your offense will probably put up a lot of points each game. Just make some splash plays. That's okay. So while this wasn't the ideal San Francisco game, I think the reality is you don't have to play DK Metcalf again, so you feel pretty good about that. You did a great job of once, Seattle kind of felt like they had this, that interception with like 10 minutes left where Geno just threw one up as a prayer. He got that interception, so you feel good about that kind of stuff. And while there were a little bit of issues, the reality is, yes, when a wide receiver and quarterback play great, you're going to give up some points. That's just football. But other than that, they were pretty much locked down. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.